Hey guys, tonight we slip into the frostbitten world of the Vikings, where icy winds howl through jagged fjords and stars glitter like the eyes of ancient gods. You're crouched by a crackling fire, the scent of pine and smoked fish heavy in the air, as a grizzled skald spins tales of worlds beyond your own. The Vikings' beliefs weren't just stories, they were the scaffolding of their reality, wilder than any Marvel movie. But fair warning, if you were dropped into their cosmos, you probably wouldn't survive the first frost giant encounter. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and local time. I love knowing where you're chilling as we dive in. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You start in the Norse cosmos, a sprawling, untamed universe that makes your modern worldview feel like a tidy IKEA catalog. The Vikings believed in 9 worlds, each a distinct realm stacked and woven together in a chaotic, beautiful mess. There's Asgard, the glittering home of the gods, where Odin broods on his throne. Midgard, that's your world, ours, ringed by a massive serpent biting its own tail. Then you've got Jotunheim, the rugged land of giants, where danger lurks like a bad Tinder date. There's also Vanaheim, Alfheim, Svartalfheim, Niflheim, Muspelheim, and Hell, each with its own vibe, from fiery chaos to icy despair. Historians still argue whether these worlds were literal places or poetic metaphors, but the Vikings lived as if they were real, their rituals and stories soaked in this multi-dimensional map. Picture yourself standing in Midgard, the human realm, your boots sinking into damp soil. Above, the sky swirls with auroras, which the Vikings saw as glimpses of divine realms. Below, the earth hums with unseen forces. The mainstream fact here is that this 9-world cosmology shaped Viking art, poetry, and even their seafaring ambitions. They sailed as if Midgard's edges might drop off into Jotunheim. A quirky tidbit? Some sagas claim the worlds were held together by a cosmic cow licking salt from primordial ice. Yeah, Vikings didn't mess around with boring creation myths. You wander through a village, wood smoke curling from thatched roofs. A woman carves a rune into a bone, whispering to spirits. The Vikings didn't just believe in gods. They felt the cosmos in every storm, every harvest. Asgard's golden halls weren't some distant heaven. They were just a bad decision away, reachable through dreams or death. You smirk, thinking of your Wi-Fi router as your modern cosmic connection. But for them, The universe was alive, pulsing, and way less predictable than your Netflix queue. Now, imagine you're at sea, your longship slicing through waves. The Vikings believed Midgard was encircled by Jormungandr, that world serpent, its coils a reminder that chaos was always close. One wrong move, and your lunch. You glance at the crew, their faces weathered but fearless. They sing of Asgard's glory, of heroes dining with Odin. It's not just bravado, it's faith in a cosmos where every choice echoes across worlds. You shiver, not from the cold, but from the weight of it all. How do you even process a universe this vast? Spoiler, the Vikings did it with mead and a lot of nerve. As you drift toward sleep, picture those 9 worlds spinning like cosmic plates. Each one's a story, a warning, a promise. You're still in Midgard, but the edges blur, and you wonder what's out there. The Vikings didn't have telescopes, but their imaginations were bigger than our Hubble shots. So, let's keep going, yeah? Just don't trip over a giant's toe. You're standing in a misty grove, the air thick with the scent of damp moss and ancient wood. Towering above you is Yggdrasil, the cosmic tree, its gnarled branches stretching into realms you can't even fathom. The Vikings believed this massive ash tree was the spine of the universe, holding those 9 worlds you wandered through in Midgard's shadow. Its roots plunge into unseen depths, and its leaves rustle with secrets older than time. You run your fingers along its bark, rough as a dragon's hide, and feel a hum, like the tree's got a pulse. This isn't just a plant, it's the Wi-Fi router of the Norse cosmos, connecting gods, giants, and you, stuck here wondering if you packed enough mead for this trip. Yggdrasil's role is no fairy tale. It's the mainstream fact that Vikings wove into their sagas, art, and even their ship carvings. They saw it as the axis mundi, the center of existence, with Asgard perched in its highest branches and hell lurking in its roots. Picture a Viking longhouse, its roof beams carved to mimic Yggdrasil's limbs, every plank a nod to this cosmic tree. But here's the quirky bit. A squirrel named Ratatoskr scurries up and down its trunk, delivering gossip between an eagle at the top and a serpent, Nidhogg, gnawing at the roots. Yeah, the Vikings had a cosmic squirrel as their divine FedEx guy. Historians still argue whether Ratatoskr was a cute metaphor for chaos or a literal spirit they feared might spill their secrets. You crouch by a root where a spring bubbles up, its water glinting like liquid starlight. This is one of Yggdrasil's sacred wells, Urdarbrunner, where the Norns, those fate-weaving sisters, decide who lives or dies. You dip your hand in, half expecting a vision, but all you get is wet fingers and a shiver. The Vikings believed these wells held wisdom, but only if you paid a price. Odin himself lost an eye for a sip. You're not that desperate, but you get why they respected this tree. It's not just big, it's the glue keeping the cosmos from collapsing like a bad IKEA bookshelf. Now, imagine climbing Yggdrasil's branches, each creak under your weight a reminder of its power. Up high, you glimpse Asgard's golden spires, but below, Niflheim's icy mists swirl. The tree's not just a ladder, it's alive, trembling with the weight of every world. You spot carvings on a branch, runes etched by some long-dead Viking. Maybe a prayer to keep Nidhogg from chewing too fast. You chuckle, thinking of your own low battery warnings as modern omens. But for the Vikings, Yggdrasil's health was everything. If it fell, so did reality. You slide down to a lower branch, where a deer nibbles the leaves, its antlers glowing faintly. The sagas say 4 stags graze Yggdrasil. They're munching a slow erosion of the cosmos. It's poetic, but creepy, like nature's clock ticking down. You lean back, the trees hum, lulling you, and wonder how the Vikings slept, knowing their universe hung on a squirrel's commute. They didn't just pray to Yggdrasil, they lived in its shadow. Every storm or earthquake, a sign it might be wobbling. You're starting to get why they drank so much. As you rest, the tree's leaves whisper, carrying echoes of Midgard's fjords and Jotunheim's peaks. Remember that 9-world map you traced by the fire? Yggdrasil ties it all together, a cosmic reminder that everything's connected, even your soggy boots. You're not climbing to Asgard tonight, too much effort, but you feel the tree's pulse, steady as a Viking's heartbeat. Let's keep moving, though. The cosmos doesn't wait, and neither does that gossipy squirrel. You're perched on a rocky cliff, the wind whipping your face as ravens circle above, their caws sharp as a warning. Below, a stormy sea churns, but your eyes are locked on a lone figure, Odin, the Allfather, his cloak flapping like a tattered sail. The Vikings revered him as the god of wisdom, war, and poetry, a restless wanderer chasing knowledge like it's the last mead in Midgard. You watch him stride toward a misty well, his one eye glinting with a hunger that makes you rethink your New Year's resolutions. Odin's quest for wisdom wasn't just a hobby. It was an obsession that shaped the Norse cosmos and left you wondering if you'd trade an eye for a TED Talk's worth of secrets. The mainstream fact is Odin's sacrifice at Mimir's well, where he gave up his eye for a sip of cosmic insight. This story, carved into Viking sagas, shows his relentless drive to understand fate, even if it cost him half his vision. You picture him leaning over the well, its waters reflecting Yggdrasil's branches. Yeah, that tree's still humming in the background. But here's the quirky tidbit. Some tales claim Odin hung himself on Yggdrasil for 9 days, pierced by his own spear, to snag the rune's magic. Talk about overachieving. Historians still argue whether this was a shamanic ritual or a mythologized power grab. But either way, Odin's not your average CEO god. You follow him now, your boots crunching on frost as he treks toward a shadowy grove. He's not flashy, no thunderbolts or six-pack abs, just a grizzled wanderer with a staff, muttering to his ravens, Hugin and Monin, who spy on the worlds for him. You're jealous. Your group chat's nowhere near that efficient. The Vikings believe these birds brought Odin intel from Midgard to Hel, making him the ultimate cosmic snoop. You wonder what he'd think of your Google search history. Probably not impressed. Now, imagine you're at his side as he kneels by a rune-covered stone. He traces the carvings, his fingers steady despite the gale. The runes he taught humanity were more than letters. They were magic, binding fate itself. You try to read one, but it's like deciphering your doctor's handwriting. Odin's wisdom came at a cost, though. Every gain, runes, well sips, prophecies, left him more burdened, like he's carrying the cosmos's overdue library fines. You get why the Vikings admired him. He wasn't just powerful, he was relentless, chasing truth while you're still struggling to remember your Wi-Fi password. You pause, catching your breath as Odin vanishes into the mist. His quest wasn't all high-stakes drama. He also loved poetry, shape-shifting into bards to win mead and verses. You smirk, imagining him at a Viking open mic night, dropping rhymes about giants. But his darker side lingers. War. Vikings prayed to him before battles, offering sacrifices, sometimes human, for victory. You shudder, glad you're just a tourist in this cosmos. Odin's not here to coddle you. He's too busy outsmarting fate. As you turn back, the ravens swoop low, their eyes glinting like they know your secrets. Odin's wisdom feels heavy now, like a storm cloud over Midgard. Remember Yggdrasil's roots, tying the worlds together? Odin's tied to them too, his sacrifices keeping the cosmos spinning. You're starting to see why the Vikings didn't just worship him. They feared him, loved him, and hoped he'd notice their own quests. For now, you're safe on this cliff, but the Allfather's shadow lingers. Let's keep moving before those ravens start spilling your DMs. You're trudging through a snow-dusted plain, the crunch of frost under your boots drowned out by a distant rumble. Like a cosmic subwoofer, lightning cracks the sky, and there he is, Thor, red-bearded and built like a Viking gym bro, gripping Mjolnir, his hammer ready to smash anything dumb enough to blink at him. The Vikings worshipped Thor as the thunder god, protector of Midgard, and the ultimate giant-slaying MVP. You clutch your imaginary hammer, feeling briefly badass, but let's be real. You drop it on your toe before facing a frost giant. Thor's all about order, keeping chaos at bay, and you're about to see why his hammer was the Norse equivalent of a nuclear deterrent. The mainstream fact is that Mjolnir wasn't just a weapon. It was a sacred symbol, carved on Viking amulets and tombstones for protection. Thor's hammer was so iconic, people wore tiny versions as pendants. Think medieval bling with a side of divine backup. But here's the quirky tidbit. Some sagas say Mjolnir was forged by dwarves who botched the handle, making it stubby. Thor didn't care. He still swung it like a pro. Historians still argue whether these flawed forging tales were meant to humanize Thor or just dwarven shade-throwing. You follow Thor now, his massive frame cutting through a blizzard toward Jotunheim. Giant country. The air smells of ozone and wet fur, and you're half convinced a giant's lurking behind the next boulder. Thor's not fazed. He's whistling, Mjolnir slung over his shoulder like it's a gym bag. You notice his belt, Makingjord, doubling his strength, and those iron gloves, Jarngriper, for gripping his hammer. You're jealous. Your workout gear's just sweat-stained yoga pants. The Vikings believed Thor's battles kept Midgard safe. His thunderclaps prove he was out there, dunking on giants like it's an NBA highlight reel. Picture yourself at a Viking feast, mead sloshing as a skull chants Thor's exploits. He once fished up Jormungandr, that world serpent you glimpsed encircling Midgard, nearly yanking it onto his boat. You laugh, imagining Thor with a fishing rod, but the Vikings took it seriously. His strength was their firewall against chaos. You spot a hammer-shaped charm on a warrior's neck, a reminder that Thor's got their back. It's not just muscle, it's faith, like trusting your phone won't die mid-GPS. Now, you're at Thor's side as he faces a giant, its shadow swallowing the snow. Mjolnir glows, humming with power, and you duck as he swings, the air cracking like a bad breakup text. The giant's toast, but Thor's already eyeing the next threat. You're starting to get why Vikings loved him. He's not Odin, brooding over cosmic riddles. Thor's the guy you call when stuff needs smashing. You smirk, thinking of your own smash moments, like rage quitting a video game. But Thor's fights were for keeps, his hammer tying Midgard to Yggdrasil's order. As you trek back, thunder fades, leaving a soft drizzle. Remember Odin's ravens, spying for wisdom? Thor's more direct. No espionage, just Mjolnir and a bad attitude. The Vikings saw his storms as blessings, watering crops while scaring giants. You're soaked but oddly calm. The hammer's weight in your mind, a steady anchor. Thor's not here for deep chats. He's here to keep the cosmos from crashing like a cheap laptop. Let's move on before another giant mistakes you for a snack. You're weaving through a bustling Viking market, the air thick with the scent of fresh bread, sizzling meat, and something sweeter, like honey laced with wildflowers. A figure glides past, her golden hair catching the sun, her necklace, brisingamen, glowing like it's got its own Instagram filter. This is Freya, the Norse goddess of love, beauty, and magic, and she's got a vibe that makes you double-check your posture. The Vikings adored her, not just for her charm, but for her mastery of cedar, a sorcery so potent it could bend fate. You're half tempted to ask for her skincare routine, but one look at her falcon cloak tells you she's not here for small talk. She's got worlds to enchant. The mainstream fact is that Freyja was a Vanir goddess, adopted into the Aesir pantheon after a divine turf war. Her dual role as love deity and war leader, shaping Viking ideals of power and passion. Her chariot, pulled by cats, was etched into sagas and art. But here's the quirky tidbit. Some tales say she traded a night with 4 dwarves for that dazzling Brisingamen necklace. Scandalous. Maybe, but Freya owned it. Historians still argue whether this story was a jab at her independence or a nod to her unapologetic desire. You trail her now, your steps light on the market's packed earth. She's bartering for amber, her voice like a melody you can't unhear. Freyja's Seder isn't just magic, it's a cosmic hack, letting her shapeshift into falcons or see the future. You're jealous. Your only magic is guessing when your pizza delivery arrives. Vikings sought her for love charms or battle blessings, believing she claimed half the slain warriors for her hall. Folkvanger, splitting the afterlife VIP list with Odin. You picture her sizing up souls like a bouncer at a cosmic club. Imagine you're at her side as she slips into a shadowed grove, her cloak shimmering. She kneels, chanting, and the air hums, Seder in action. You catch a glimpse of her tears, golden and legendary, said to turn into amber when they hit the earth. You smirk, thinking of your own stress crying over Wi-Fi outages. Freyja's power wasn't just spells, it was her defiance. She taught Odin cider, despite its unmanly stigma. Vikings respected that hustle, weaving her into their poems as both muse and warrior. Now, you're back in the market, watching her charm a crowd. A warrior offers her a boar-shaped pendant, a nod to her battle pig, Hildisvini. You're starting to get why she was a big deal. love, war, magic. She's the whole package. Unlike Thor's hammer-swinging bravado, Freya's subtle. Like a viral TikTok, you can't stop watching. You spot a woman mimicking her, braiding charms into her hair, and realize Freya's influence is everywhere. Every glance, every whispered spell. As you leave the market, the sweet scent lingers, like Freya's still nearby. Remember Thor's Mjolnir, smashing giants. Freya's power is quieter, but just as fierce, tying Midgard's heartstrings to Yggdrasil's roots. You're not sure if you're in love or just starstruck, but her magic's got you hooked. The Vikings didn't just worship her, they wanted to be her. Let's keep going, but watch your step. Her cats look like they hold grudges. You're skulking through a foggy forest, the air sharp with pine and a faint whiff of trouble, like someone's plotting your demise over mead. A shadow darts between trees. Loki, the trickster god, his smirk sharper than a freshly honed blade. The Vikings saw him as chaos incarnate, a shape-shifting schemer who could charm his way out of a dragon's jaw or burn the cosmos for a laugh. You're half sure he's already pickpocketed your courage, leaving you clutching your imaginary cloak, wondering if you're his next prank victim. Loki's schemes don't just stir the pot, they tip it over, and you're about to see how his antics shook the Norse world. The mainstream fact is Loki's role in the myths as both ally and enemy of the gods. His cunning driving stories, like the theft of Thor's hammer or the binding of his monstrous children. Sagas paint him as a catalyst, sparking chaos that tests the Aesir's strength. But here's the quirky tidbit. One tale has Loki turning into a mare to seduce a stallion, birthing Odin's eight-legged horse, Sleipnir. Yeah, Loki's gender-fluid horse mom arc wasn't on your Viking bingo card. Historians still argue whether he was a devilish villain or a chaotic anti-hero, his motives as slippery as his shape-shifting. You track him now, your boots sinking into damp moss as he slinks toward Asgard's gates. His eyes glint like he's already 3 steps ahead, probably rigging a divine PowerPoint to frame someone else. Vikings believed Loki's tricks, like stealing Freya's necklace or cutting Sif's golden hair, weren't just pranks. They were cosmic stress tests, forcing gods to level up or lose. You're jealous of his multitasking. Your biggest scheme is sneaking an extra coffee. But Loki's not all laughs. He fathered monsters like Jormungandr, that world serpent you saw circling Midgard, tying his chaos to Yggdrasil's trembling roots. Picture yourself at a Viking fire pit, a skald whispering Loki's latest stunt. He once conned a giant into building Asgard's walls, then dodged payment with a classic Loki pivot. You chuckle, thinking of your own dodged group project duties. But the Vikings weren't always amused. Loki's betrayals, like luring Idun and her youth-giving apples, nearly doom the gods. You spot a carved fox on a trader's stall, a nod to Loki's cunning. It's not worship, it's respect for a guy who plays chess while you're stuck on checkers. Now, you're at Loki's side as he weaves a lie to Thor, his words smoother than a Spotify ad. The air crackles. Thor's not buying it, but Loki's already gone. Maybe a raven now, cackling from a branch. His schemes ripple from Midgard storms to Asgard's feuds, like a cosmic prank call no one can hang up on. You're starting to get why Vikings both feared and admired him. He's the glitch in their universe, the reason Freya's magic and Thor's hammer stay sharp. As you leave the forest, Loki's laugh echoes, faint but unnerving. Remember Freya's satyr, bending fate? Loki's chaos is its dark twin, twisting the cosmos's threads until they fray. You're safe for now, but his shadow lingers, like a notification you can't swipe away. The Vikings didn't pray to him. They watched their backs. Let's move on before he tricks you into babysitting his snake kid. You're standing on a blackened hill, the sky roiling with ash and crimson, like someone spilled apocalypse paint across the heavens. The ground trembles, and you hear a distant howl. Ragnarok, the Vikings' end of days prophecy, is no longer a story. It's here, and the gods you've trailed, Odin, Thor, Freya, are gearing up for a cosmic showdown that makes your worst Monday look like a spa day. The Vikings believe Ragnarok was the ultimate reset button, a fiery, bloody clash where gods, giants, and monsters would duke it out, leaving the cosmos in ruins. You grip a nearby rock, half expecting Loki to pop up with popcorn and a grin. The mainstream fact is that Ragnarok, detailed in the poetic Edda, was a cyclical cataclysm the Vikings accepted as inevitable, shaping their fatalistic worldview. It wasn't just a battle, it was a cosmic overhaul, with gods like Thor facing their doom. But here's the quirky tidbit. Some sagas claim a rooster's crow kicks off the chaos, waking warriors for the final fight. A chicken heralding the apocalypse? Only the Vikings. Historians still argue whether Ragnarok was a literal prediction or a metaphor for nature's cycles, but its shadow loomed large in their art and sagas. You stumble forward, the air thick with sulfur. Jormungandr, that world serpent you glimpsed encircling Midgard, thrashes in the sea, poisoning the sky. Thor's there, Mjolnir blazing, ready to slug it out with his old fishing buddy. You're rooting for him, but the prophecy's grim. He'll fall, even if he wins. Nearby, Odin battles Fenrir, Loki's wolf son, his spear no match for those jaws. You wince, remembering Odin's wisdom quests, all that eye-sacrificing for this? Vikings believed fate was ironclad. Nobody, not even the Allfather, could dodge Ragnarok's script. Picture yourself ducking behind a boulder as Freya charges, her boar at her side, facing fire giants from Muspelheim. Her cedar sparks, but the flames are relentless. You're half sure Loki's laughing somewhere, his betrayal unleashing this mess. The Vikings saw him leading the charge with Hel's dead, his chaos finally breaking Yggdrasil's roots. You smirk, thinking of your own end-of-world drama, like losing Wi-Fi midstream. But for the Vikings, Ragnarok was real enough to carve into runestones, a warning that even gods weren't immortal. Now, the ground splits, and you glimpse Surt, the fire giant, his sword torching the sky. Asgard's golden halls crumble, Midgard drowns, and Yggdrasil groans, its branches snapping. You're not signing up for this fight. Your cardio's not that good. Yet, the Vikings found hope in the aftermath, a new world rising, green and calm, with surviving gods like Thor's sons rebuilding. It's less happily ever after and more. Let's try this again. You admire their grit, facing doom but betting on a sequel. As the flames fade, you're left in eerie silence, the cosmos rebooting. Remember Loki's schemes, fraying fate's threads. Ragnarok's the climax, tying every god's story, Odin's wisdom, Thor's hammer, Freya's magic, into one brutal finale. You're shaken, but oddly inspired. The Vikings didn't flinch from endings, just sharpened their axes. The hills quiet now, but the echo of that rooster's crow lingers, like a cosmic alarm you can't snooze. Let's move on before Surt mistakes you for kindling. You're in a torchlit clearing, the air heavy with smoke and the musky scent of animal hides. Shadows flicker on gnarled trees as Vikings gather, their faces solemn, chanting low like a Spotify playlist stuck on eerie vibes. They're preparing a sacrifice, a ritual to appease the gods and keep the cosmos from unraveling like a cheap sweater. The Vikings believed offerings, animals, goods, sometimes humans, were cosmic bribes to Odin, Freya, or Thor, ensuring good harvests or battle luck. You stand at the edge, your heart thumping, half expecting to be volunteered. These rituals aren't just creepy, they're the glue binding Midgard to Yggdrasil's trembling branches. The mainstream fact is that Viking sacrifices, or blot, were well documented, with archaeological finds like animal bones and ritual pits confirming their role in Norse religion. These ceremonies, often tied to solstices or harvests, were community events, not unlike your awkward family BBQs. But here's the quirky tidbit. Some sagas mention warriors tossing weapons into bogs as offerings, believing wetlands were portals to the gods. Imagine yeeting your best axe into a swamp for good vibes. Historians still argue whether human sacrifices were rare or just hushed up, but the evidence leans toward. Occasionally, yeah, they went there. You step closer, the chants vibrating in your chest. A goat slid forward, its bleats drowned by a skald's hymn to Freyr for fertile fields. The blade flashes, and you look away, focusing on the fire's crackle. Vikings saw blood as a direct line to the divine, a text message to Asgard. You're glad your prayers are just muttering at traffic. The crowd murmurs approval, believing the gods are pleased, maybe even Freyja's, smiling in Folkvanger. You notice rune-carved stones circling the clearing, each a plea for favor, tying this ritual to the cosmos you've been exploring. Picture yourself at a different blot, this one for Odin before a raid. Warriors offer mead and a horse, its spirit meant to gallop to Valhalla. You're starting to get why these rituals mattered. Every drop of blood, every sunken sword was a bet against Ragnarok's chaos. You smirk, thinking of your own sacrifices, like skipping dessert for a gym day. But for Vikings, this was survival, a way to nudge fate when Loki's schemes or Jotunheim's giants loomed. You spot a child tossing a bone into the fire, a tiny offering, and realize even kids bought into this cosmic deal. Now, the crowd shifts to a feast, the tension easing as mead flows. You're offered a horn, warm, sweet, and strong enough to make you see Yggdrasil's leaves. The Vikings believed gods joined these feasts, invisible but present, like cosmic plus ones. You glance at the stars, wondering if Thor's toasting with them. Unlike Freyja's subtle cedar, sacrifices were loud, messy, and public, a group chat with the divine. You're not signing up for goat duty, but you respect the hustle. Vikings didn't just pray, they paid up. As you slip away, the fire's glow fades, but the chants linger, like an earworm you can't shake. Remember Ragnarok's doomed gods. These rituals were the Vikings' way of delaying that apocalypse, a desperate plug for Yggdrasil's fraying roots. You're back in the dark now, the forest quiet, but the weight of those offerings sticks with you. The Vikings didn't mess around. They gave to get, hoping Odin noticed. Let's keep moving before they ask you to chip in a cow. You're aboard a creaking longship, the salt spray stinging your face as waves churn like a cosmic washing machine. The Vikings believed death wasn't the end, but a voyage to afterlives as vivid as Midgard's fjords. You're sailing toward their realms of the dead, Valhalla, Folkvanger, or gloomy hell, each a destination based on how you lived or died. The oars dip rhythmically, and you grip the rail, wondering if your resume stacks up for Odin's feast hall or if you're headed for Hell's damp basement. The Vikings' afterlife beliefs weren't fluffy clouds and harps. They were raw, real, and tied to Yggdrasil's roots, just like those sacrifices you witnessed. The mainstream fact is that Valhalla, Odin's golden hall in Asgard, was reserved for warriors slain in battle, where they'd feast and fight until Ragnarok. Viking sagas and graves packed with weapons confirm this warrior-centric afterlife was a cultural cornerstone. But here's the quirky tidbit. Some sources say Hel, the underworld ruled by Loki's daughter, wasn't always grim, just boring, like an eternal DMV line for non-heroes. Historians still argue whether Valhalla was an elite club or a poetic ideal, but Vikings lived like it was real, dying with axes in hand to snag an invite. You picture yourself storming Valhalla's gates, the scent of roasted boar and mead hitting you like a warm hug. Inside, warriors clash in daily sparring, laughing off wounds before Odin raises a horn. You're tempted, but the death in battle entry fee's a hard pass. Your last fight was over the TV remote. Freya's Folkvanger, where half the slain go, feels cozier, with her golden fields and cat-drawn chariot. You smirk, imagining her sorting souls, like a divine talent scout, her cedar sizing up your vibe. Now, the ship veers toward Hell, the air growing colder, the waves sluggish. No fire pits here, just mist and silence, ruled by Hel, the half-dead goddess with a face like she's over it. Vikings believed most folks, farmers, traders, or you, probably ended up here, not punished, just existing. You're not thrilled. It's like being sent to your room forever without Wi-Fi. Some sagas hint at rebirth from Hell, a cosmic recycle bin, but it's no Valhalla. You notice runes carved on the ship's prow, prayers for a better landing spot, tying this journey to those blot rituals you saw. Imagine a Viking funeral, a chieftain's body burned on a pyre, his ship sent blazing into the sea. You watched one once, the flames a bridge to Asgard. Vikings believed the dead needed gear, swords, combs, even horses, to navigate the afterlife. You chuckle, thinking of packing your phone charger for eternity. But it's serious stuff. Graves show they meant it, burying warriors with loot to impress Odin or bribe Hell's gatekeepers. Death was a trip, and Vikings packed heavy. As the ship slows, you glimpse a shore, neither golden nor grim, just there. Remember those sacrifices, blood for the gods' favor. They were bets on this journey, hoping Thor's hammer or Freyja's magic secured a good seat. You're not docking yet, but the Vikings' afterlives feel close. Their faith in Valhalla's feasts or Hell's chill, a map for life's end. The oars still, and you're left with the sea's whisper, wondering where you'd sail. Let's keep going before hell sends you a roommate form. You're trudging along a windswept ridge, the tang of salt and seaweed in the air as you approach a towering runestone, its weathered surface etched with swirling runes and faded carvings. The Vikings used these stones, scattered across Midgard, like cosmic post-it notes, to encode their beliefs, honor the dead, and whisper prophecies to the gods. Each rune is a story, a spell, a bridge to the cosmos you've been exploring. From Yggdrasil's branches to Valhalla's feasts, you trace a carving, your fingers grazing history, and feel the weight of a people who carved their faith into stone, hoping Odin or Freya might glance their way. You're no rune master, but you're ready to decode their mystic legacy before this journey ends. The mainstream fact is that runestones, especially in Scandinavia, were erected between the 4th and 12th centuries, often as memorials or claims of glory, their inscriptions blending praise with divine invocations. Thousands still stand, solid proof of Viking storytelling. But here's the quirky tidbit. Some stones, like Sweden's Ruck runestone, weave cryptic riddles about gods and heroes, maybe even hiding secret codes. Vikings loved a good brain teaser with their memorials. Historians still argue whether these inscriptions were purely practical or laced with magical intent, meant to nudge fate like those blot sacrifices you saw. You kneel by the stone, its runes glinting in the dusk. They tell of a warrior, raised by his kin to sail to Valhalla, his deeds etched to outlast Midgard's storms. You picture the carver, chisel in hand, chanting to Thor for strength or Freya for finesse. Runes weren't just letters, they were power, believed to bind spirits or curse foes. You smirk, thinking of your own etched legacy, probably just emojis in a group chat. Vikings used runes for everything: love charms, battle oaths, even marking loot. This stone's a tweet to the cosmos, and it's still trending. Now imagine you're at a runestone raising, a crowd cheering as the slabs hauled upright. Mead flows, and a skald chants of Ragnarok, tying this moment to the gods' doomed fight. The stone's carvings, a serpent, maybe Jormungandr, coiling around a hammer, link it to Thor's battles and Loki's chaos. You spot Yggdrasil's outline, its branches a nod to the cosmic tree you climbed. Vikings believed these stones spoke to the divine, ensuring the dead weren't forgotten, like a cosmic guest book for Hel or Asgard. You're impressed. Your best memorial's a half-finished journal. You step back, the stone looming like a silent prophet. Some runes hint at rebirth after Ragnarok, a new world rising, echoing that faint hope you felt amid the apocalypse's flames. Others curse thieves, a Viking do not touch sign with teeth. You chuckle, imagining a runestone for your Wi-Fi router, warding off signal moochers. But these stones were serious. Families poured wealth into them, believing they anchored souls to Yggdrasil's roots. They're the Vikings' final word, a legacy outlasting their longships. As twilight settles, the runestone's shadow stretches, its runes fading into the gloom. You're winding down now, the journey softening. The Vikings' beliefs, 9 worlds, Thor's hammer, Freya's magic, Odin's quests, pulse in these stones, tying every story you followed into one carved truth. You feel the sea's rhythm, slow and steady, like a lullaby from Midgard's heart. The gods are quiet tonight, their battles paused, and Yggdrasil's hum is a gentle whisper, urging rest. You're safe here, wrapped in the Vikings' cosmos, where every rune sing of courage and fate. Let the runestone stand, its secrets safe in the dark. Close your eyes, let the wind carry you back to your own world, where storms are just weather, not Thor's wrath. The Vikings' tales linger, soft as embers, promising new stories when you wake. Sleep now, dreamer, with Yggdrasil's leaves overhead, and let the cosmos hold you tight.